Pep Guardiola's got his number 9 at the Etihad for years to come. The long-awaited arrival of Erling Haaland going to take place after our football insider Fabrizio Romano reported on Monday. The Norwegian joining the club where his father once played. Except they'll get a little bit more money to fill a need Manchester City have been looking for really since Sergio Aguero. Now, Haaland will be coming over from Borussia Dortmund. He's had an accomplished career despite just being 21 years old. He'll be 22 this summer. Fabrizio telling us that he passed his medical and that City will pay close to €75 million. That release clause, not exact 75, maybe more in that 68-ish range to activate that release from the Bundesliga club after this season. All right, to break down that and so much more, I've got the guys back here. CBS Sports HQ, the gaffer Tomas Rongen, and the host of the Que Golazo podcast, Miguel Echegaray. LME, I'm going to start with you first. You spoke with our guy, Fabrizio. First off, what more can you tell us from the conversation with Fabrizio Romano, and then give us your thoughts on the move?
Erling Haaland being a massive acquisition for the Premier League and Manchester City. Everything was pointing to Manchester City. You mentioned I talked to Fab on Que Golazo. Obviously, he was in HQ as well, working hard on this report. And it's been coming for a few months, by the way. Man City always knew that this was a main target, not just because they need a number 9 for next season, right? But it's also because of the player that he is. He can add a different dimension. And I think that's where I'm going with this, Tommy Tran. I'm hearing a lot about, well, Man City don't need goals. This is a silly acquisition, etc. That may be so. Man City score no matter what. But what Erling Haaland provides is a different alternative, a different angle, a different finalization and a conclusion of a game. If I give you the Champions League as an example, Man City were running out of ideas. They always go wide with either a Phil Foden or a Jack Grealish, Raheem Sterling, and they try and penetrate. But now, with Erling Haaland, the man that scored 41 goals in 41 matches in his first season in Germany, 28 out of 29 this season. He had a bit of an injury going on. Now you have somebody that provides such a ridiculous different threat from a Man City perspective. This is a massive acquisition. And what did you say? 68 million around that release? That's insane. It's Erling Haaland. That's ridiculous. And obviously he has the Man City connections. His father, Erling Haaland, played as a defender for Man City. He's been a Man City fan for a while. He's always wanted to come to the Premier League. So this is the piece for Manchester City. And there he is as a kid watching his team Man City with his father and his family, of course. But this is a massive acquisition for Manchester City. And also not forgetting that Julian Alvarez arrives in the summer as well. So Man City, well, the rich just get richer, Tommy Tran. I guess that's the conclusion of this story.
I'm sure the family connection had something to do with that because he grew up there for a few years. His dad played for Manchester City. Yes, money was a huge thing. You look at the brand boost for this guy as well at 21. He's pretty good at that already. That will go up. A potential Ballon d'Or winner if he goes to City, which he has done obviously. But the most important thing is Champions League success. Obviously, he won't get that with Dortmund. He will get that with Manchester City. And he gets with that an incredible coach that makes younger players better in Pep Guardiola, I'm sure, that played a huge role there as well. Natural fit, as LME just said, tall, strong, fast, clinical, good in the air as well. And if you look at this team, and yes, they score a lot of goals, they are second in chance creation and crosses, but they're last in big chances missed. And by the way, Haaland doesn't miss big chances. So in the big games, and that's what we're talking about, be it Real Madrid, obviously, you have now that alternative that LME just talked about. He is that missing piece. And I'm telling you, that's the best spy now in world soccer. Ederson, Diaz, Laporte, Silva, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, and now Haaland there. By the way, on set pieces, with his height, huge advantage as well.
It's interesting you guys both bring up the fit and the style. I'm curious because this is either to clarify or reinforce. Luis, there's talk about we saw Jack Grealish and Romelu Lukaku not fitting with their teams. And you mentioned when they need him to put it to the guy with a box. But does he fit when they play all the wingers that are interchangeable? That's going to be Erling Haaland, maybe not always back to the goal first and foremost.
Yeah, I think if somebody watches Erling Haaland's development, by the way, Tommy Tran, especially from all the way from Salzburg to the national team, Borussia Dortmund, Yeah, he's big, he's fast, and to TR's excellent point, he's going to finish those chances that Man City keep on missing out on. But the key here is that he's more than just a big, strong, tall player. He's very good at seeing what's around him. He's very good with movement. I mean, he's clinical inside the box, outside of the box. He knows exactly what to do in that moment. And that's what Man City needs, because you mentioned Jack Grealish. Look, listen, I think it's going to take time for Jack, and maybe next season will work out for him. But he's a different kind of player. He's somebody that waits on the outside, tries to come in invertedly and provide. Romelu Lukaku, I just think it hasn't worked out for multiple reasons. One, I don't think that Tuchel's system suits him very well. Erling Haaland is a different animal. He's a different beast, and he's big and he's strong, but he's also very tactile. He's like I don't know, this is a horrible description, but like a beautiful rhino dancing ballet. He's just so good and smooth, but also super strong. Forgive me, Haaland family, if I just call him a rhino. I'm sure there's a better animal out there. But Haaland, to me, fits perfectly, and TR once again made a very good point. Man City miss chances, specifically in big games, just like the Champions League. Haaland is your answer.
And to me, it's a giraffe, by the way. That tall neck,
yeah, you know,
that statue right there, able to dance
giraffe
on his feet. But you make a good point, Tommy. There will be an adjustment period, no doubt about it. And we're talking about the best players in the world. That includes defenders. Virgil van Dijk comes to mind, for instance, that he will face week in, week out as well. But there is this beauty that's very similar to Dortmund when he had Götze, when he had Reus, when he had Gio Reyna, that also play intricacy, combination play. He's not a great dribbler, but you put it to his feet inside the 18-yard box, he'll put it in the back of the net.
All right, we got time for the North London Derby later this week. We have time for today. Aston Villa and Liverpool, we know that the Reds had drew with Tottenham, so they're 3 points behind City there with roughly 3 to play. Luis Miguel Echegaray, give me the Villa perspective. Coutinho, Buendia, and the two guys up top. What do you think Steven Gerrard's going to do today, bub?
I think that you're being dangerous ground here, Tommy, trying to ask in the Villa perspective. I'm obviously going to be biased here. I want Aston Villa to win. Historically speaking, this is a Liverpool fixture. They've won 7 out of the last 8. However, what happened last season? 7-2. That was ridiculous. I can't believe it was last season, by the way. It feels like 10 years ago. But historically, Liverpool win this game. But Aston Villa have proven as of late that they can be a force for some. And obviously now you have the extra narrative that the Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard is our manager. And he's been doing pretty well as of late in the last 3 matches after that 4-game non-winning streak where Aston Villa really needed to pick it up. Coutinho was rested this past weekend. He played, not for the full game. He came in late in that game this past weekend as well. So, you'll have him. And now Gerrard has a headache of figuring out what do we do with my 2 number 10s, Buendia and Felipe Coutinho. I really hope he figures out a way, because the other conundrum is that Danny Ings is playing very well. No more goal contributions than Danny Ings the entire season so far. So there's going to be that, obviously, perspective also facing his former club. For Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp said it. It's a must win. They have to keep up. And by the way, they have an FA Cup final this weekend as well. So there's a lot to think about here. I'm hoping that Villa Park will be loud. I'm hoping that Villa Park will be aggressive, pushing for a win, because Liverpool have a very good squad. I expect Diogo Jota to start in this one ahead of Lucho Diaz. I think that Tottenham did a very good job at holding them against Liverpool, as opposed to Jurgen Klopp saying that they played boring. I think Antonio Conte played a very good game. And here are the remaining schedules for both Man City and Liverpool. I don't see Man City losing any more matches. I really don't. So really, it's key for Liverpool to win every single one and hope that Man City stumble at some point. Obviously, away at West Ham is a tricky one. But I think that win, that emphatic win from Man City against Newcastle was big. Liverpool need to win every single game. It begins today against Aston Villa. And I hope it doesn't happen up the Villa.
Yeah, Captain Fantastic Gerrard, and some players that played for Liverpool as well can play spoiler. They play City as well. So does Wolves. Wolves play City and Liverpool too. Yes, it's a must-win, but Liverpool is very deep. I expect Gomez, Matip, Keita, Jota, Firmino maybe to start. You don't miss much, but it will be a very tight game. And that high back line of Liverpool, there will be some joy there for Ollie Watkins and for Danny Ings. I say a narrow win for Liverpool through rotation and looking ahead already a little bit to Chelsea.
Who knows? Maybe Cash comes through. Look at Dean, came out of nowhere, been playing, thought he'd be shut down, and he was pretty big in their last game. Our thanks to Tomas Rongen and Luis Miguel Echegaray. Guys, thank you very much. Enjoy it today. It's a double game week for the Premier League for many of the teams, and then in game week 37, a handful of other teams, which includes Villa and Everton as well. The Que Golazo podcast, more with Erling Haaland and Man City with LME and Fabrizio Romano. By the way, odds for Man City to win the Premier League, minus 850. Liverpool, 525 on the plus side.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.